Hey guys, welcome to the shop. Working on the Thunderbird here. As if there's any Thunderbird SC owners watching, you're probably familiar with this setup. I believe it's pronounced TEVES, something like that. This is quite the unit. This is actually used on a few cars like Super Coupe and I think the Mark 8. And is what this is it's electro hydro boost set up with integrated ABS. So this reservoir here feeds fluid into this mechanism, which is electric motor here, hydraulic pump, hydraulic accumulator, and that is kind of like a hydro boost pressure sensor, I believe. Well, so what happens is this unit here, seal goes out between the motor and the pump, gets brake fluid in here, everything gets all corroded up, starts leaking out. There's a fusible link in here that fries. You don't have very much braking power. This is the ABS unit right here. On mine, it was still working, but all these wires, insulation's coming off of right there. Pretty decent sized power wires going into this motor. So you had one of these lines went to the rear and then two to the front. So I'm gonna replace this beauty with Hydro Boost. I actually pieced this together with parts from another one I had. I had to replace the accumulator off my other one onto here, and then I took the fusible link inside was fried on them both, but it just works out that you can take the non-fusible link and put it in its place, which is pretty sketchy because, you know, without a fusible link, I suppose it's something could just like start on fire, burn the car up. So that's another reason why I'm getting rid of this setup. So there it is. What I'm putting in its place is this unit right here. This is out of a bread van, GM bread van. It's a Bosch Hydro Boost. I believe this would be like the accumulator here. And I cut off the factory bracket as I'm gonna weld some ears on here that bolt up to the car, make everything the right length and all that. And then this will go back where it's supposed to go. I still have some parts coming, but 94, 95 Mustang GT, or maybe other models too, but basically 94, 95 Mustang master cylinder and proportioning valve from a car with out ABS and all-wheel disc brakes is what's going on here. And then everything should work right because these Thunderbird Super Coupes had all-wheel disc brakes. So, and with this setup here with the Cummins in here, I have a GM-ish style Saginaw power steering pump. So I picked up some fittings. One of these should screw into the pump, one should screw into the booster, and then I'll be able to put A and N fittings on. They do make some fittings to adapt like your Ford power steering pump over. So this is dash 16, I believe. Metric 16 O-ring to 6AN. And then on this particular booster, the other port I believe is an 18. So those will get threaded down and they're tight. I'd have to look at the schematics to be 100% sure here, but I believe this one close to the accumulator is the pressure line, comes from the power steering pump. This one here is the line that goes to your steering rack. This line will return back to your power steering housing. So basically, this unit should have priority over your power steering. So if you have to brake, this will use what it needs for the brakes and send the remainder of the pressure to your steering rack. Whatever it exhausts will go back to your pump. So this one should thread right into the pump, just like so. If I would have wanted to just use a standard Ford Thunderbird vacuum booster, I would have had plenty of room on this car. But then I would have had to go and get a Dodge vacuum pump power steering assembly, which I've done on some of my other swaps. But I just decided to go this route. When I get some more progress on this, I'll show you guys. It's not really going to be a how-to, I guess. If you guys want to know what fittings I used on here, I can let you know in the comments. And basically these are just GM power steering adapters, which the O-ring got stuck in there now, but there would be an O-ring on the end here. And it just depends on what size your ports are. I basically figured that out by looking online what all the lines were supposed to take, and then I figured out that each port was, has a 16, this is a 16, that's an 18. And the one on the car, I believe, is a 16 also, but it's a different type of seal. I'll have to rebend my lines a little bit to make that stuff mount up properly, but when it's all done, it should have a a good operating brake system. Well guys, for now, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. God bless.